Okay, it's 1 minute after. We have a lot to cover, so I am going to get started. However, Huey did not join us yet. If he joins us, I can make him the co-host so he can admit people during the class while I'm going through my spiel. So if he does that, I will let him be co-host and interrupt the class and let him answer the question about the videos. Otherwise, if he does not join, I'll have to let people in. So every once in a while, if I hear a ding, I'll have to say, let me admit that person. So let's get started. Let's see, we have 8, 10 people so far plus me. So I'm going to go to share my screen. Okay, let's get started. I hope you have some note paper with you, easy to write on. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Good. All right. You don't have to mute yourself unless we get some background noise. So you're welcome to interrupt me. I may not see a raised hand once I get going here. Please interrupt and say I have a question, and they'll be most welcome anytime. Let's do a quick review of what we covered 2 weeks ago. We were talking about the Windows Explorer app, File Explorer, not Windows Internet Explorer, but the File Explorer. And the File Explorer icon looks like a manila folder. There's my icon up here in the upper left. It's so important to me that I also have it on my taskbar. If it's on the taskbar, you only need to click once to open it. If it's an icon on your desktop, you have to double click to open it. I'll open it from my taskbar. Okay, and I will make this window a little larger. I won't have it fill up the whole screen because I need to see on the right side a panel of the attendees. This is Windows 11, not Windows 10. There are not many differences between the File Explorer app from Windows 10 to 11, are few. Okay, we covered last time that the left pane, which you can expand or contract by dragging the border between the panes. The left pane lists only folders, no files. Okay, in Windows 11, the folders that are given to you right at the top are pinned. You have a little pin there. That means you can't move them. They're always going to be there. You can remove them, but you can't move them around. They're pinned to that position when you open up File Explorer. Desktop, downloads, documents, pictures, music, and videos. Those are the folders in which you do your stuff. This is where you put things that you save, and we'll create a new file and put it in one of these folders. Now, if I click on one of them, like documents, the folder you click on in the left column, the contents of that folder that's now highlighted because you clicked on it, the contents of that folder will be displayed in the right pane of the menu, the large pane. So all the folders that are in my documents or the documents folder for my computer, they're all listed here at the top. And then after that come the files. They are all in alphabetical order. And we went through various views last time. I will mention again that the two views I used all the time are the detail list view, which this one is, or the large icon view for photographs. If I have photos in my folders and I want to see them, I use the large icon view. But this is the detail list view. And the reason I use the detail list view is you get the column headings at the top, and you can click to sort your list on this pane by the type of file it is, by the date modified, or by the name. Here it's listed by name. I can tell by the little arrowhead, little tiny arrowhead up there at this column, that this is the column that's being sorted. All right. And if I come down, I get the alphabetical folders first and then alphabetical the files afterwards. If I click on it again, the arrow is now pointing down, and it is a reverse sort. In other words, I have all the files first from Z to A, followed by the folders at the bottom from Z to A. Okay? Normally, my normal working day-to-day is to do the view detail list, so I get the column headings. And also, I like to start by sorting by name alphabetically, and folders come first. Now, we said this documents is pinned here. I can click on pictures and I get all my photos. This view is, of course, large icons. You can actually see the folders, maybe even a picture or two that's in the folder. I don't have any music, so this folder is empty. I don't have any videos that I know of. Well, I don't know. I guess I don't. I just use documents and pictures. Downloads is where the stuff goes that you download. Okay. Welcome, Timothy. And if you download something, it's nicely sorted for you so you can find the download. Usually you don't want to keep them too long after you download and do something with the download. Okay. Now, if I scroll down over here at the scroll bar, I can go to any folder on my PC or on my C drive. Here's the documents folder again. And if I click on it, I get the same list of documents, just like as if I clicked on documents in the pinned area. No different, okay? But down here, we have a little helpful arrow that helps us. This arrow next to documents, the arrow is pointing to the right. It's indicating that there are more folders in the documents folder. And if I click the arrowhead, it opens up all the folders that are in documents, and there just happens to be one, which is documents. Same thing, get the same list. And now if I click that arrow, I get the list of all the folders that are in the document folder. Okay, so I get the list on the left and the contents of the folders on the right. Why are there two documents? I don't know. I surmise that you can have multiple users on the same computer, and each registered user would have their own documents, their own videos, their own downloads, and so forth. But I don't really know why. I think I just encountered that now because of Windows 11. I don't know if Windows 10 had that, so I can't help you with that. But for some reason, you click documents twice to get the list of documents here. And one of these folders, get the list of folders over here. Sorry, not documents, list of folders. The files and folders are over here.
Jim, question, are you going to show us how to delete some of those, which is really important to me?
Folder list and the contents of everything that's in the class teaching folder. So what's in the class teaching folder? It is the Excel class stuff folder, iPad folder, mixed bag of files folder, and the Windows 10 folder, and then files. The folders don't take up any space. It's the files in the folders that take up the space. Okay. If I click this arrowhead next to the folder, class teaching folder, it will open up the contents of folders in this list. Let me do that. Click. There's the Excel class stuff, iPad and iPhone, mixed bag, and Windows 10, but no files. We only get the folders over here. Now, why is that important? Because when we start moving things around, we want to move a file from one folder to another. It's nice to have the folder list on this pane. You could go to any folder you want, and you can just drag a file or a folder from this location and drop it in any other folder. Okay, so let's take an example. Here I have, let's open up Windows 10 folder. I can double click it here, click. And here's the contents of the Windows 10 folder. Here's the path name up here. How did I get to the folder that I'm at? Well, I'm in the documents folder, and in that folder, I went and opened the class teaching folder. And in that folder, I am now at the Windows 10 folder. And the Windows 10 folder is highlighted, and the contents of the Windows folder is listed here. There is no arrowhead next to the Windows 10 folder. Why do you think that is?
No folders there.
There's no
Yep.
folders in Windows 10 folder. Here's a mixed bag of files. If I click on that one, this folder is empty. iPad and iPhone teaching, they're all files. There's no folders. Okay. So let's say I want to create a new folder. Now, when I go through this, I'm kind of going through it the way I would normally work. And you may think that I'm skipping around a little bit. Well, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Well, there's probably at least 5 ways of doing the same thing. And I'm going to show you probably 2, maybe 3 ways of doing the same thing. And you can find other ways by asking Google. All right. Let me make this a little bit wider here so we get more room. All right. Now, let's say I want to create a new folder. Jim's rule is you should be in the folder in which you want to create the new one. It makes sense, right? So you want to go to the folder that you want. Let's say mixed bag of files. Well, that folder's empty. Let's do iPad and iPhone teaching stuff. Okay, there's no folders in here now, but it's highlighted. Now in Windows 11, they rearranged and goofed up the menus a little bit. The most popular menu choices are now icons at the top menu. And if I click on new and I click on folder, there's my new folder. That's all there is to it. So you click on the folder in the left column that you want, click to highlight it, and you come up to new and click a new folder and you get this. The new folder is right in the folder in which you clicked on, and it's highlighted, which means it's ready for you to type a name. How many want the name new folder? I don't. Okay, so we're going to type a new name. Oh, I clicked on admit person. I'm sorry. And I goofed that up. Let me delete this and start over again. We'll just cut this. Trash it. Put it in the trash. There we go. So if I want to create a new folder in iPad and iPhone teaching stuff, I click on it in the left column to highlight it. I come up to new and click the little arrow next to new, and I can create a new folder. Click, and there's the new folder in the iPad and iPhone teaching stuff folder, and it's ready for me to type a name. So I'm going to call it test folder 1. Okay. And I click anywhere and it will take the name. Click. Now it may not reposition this folder name alphabetically right away. You may have to leave the folder and come back into it, and then it will be sorted in the correct sort position. So don't be surprised if a new folder and you type it and you can start working and playing with it, but it isn't alphabetical to start with. It will be when you come back into the folder.
Question, Jim.
Yes,
On the left-hand side, when you were highlighted iPad right there, if you right-clicked, wouldn't you also get the option to make a new folder on the right click?
there's 20 million different ways of doing the same thing, and you're absolutely right. If I right-click this folder here, there's most of the commands
Hmm,
that you would want.
I don't see a new folder though.
Oh, new folders right here.
Ah,
Oh,
so
I'm
it's an
sorry,
icon.
rename. Copy.
No, it's not an option there.
Oh, it's not. Did they remove that?
Yeah, they
Show
did.
more
Or show more
options.
options. Yeah.
There we go.
Down at the bottom. Says new.
New folder.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Don't blame me. You know, right? Don't blame me.
Okay, well, it was
Okay,
good to
that's
test. It was a good test.
yeah, A and B. Okay, notice when I created this folder here, I now have an arrow next to iPad and iPhone teaching stuff folder. Because this folder now contains at least one folder, and it's the test folder one that's there. If I click the arrow, it's indented, so I know that test folder one is a folder in iPad and iPhone teaching stuff folder, but the mixed bag of files folder is not in because it's not indented. So the mixed bag of files folder, if you line it up very carefully, it's the same level as these other folders. Okay, so when you open up an arrow to list the folders in that folder, they will be slightly indented in the column. A little confusing. Don't mess it up.
Jim,
Question?
Jim,
Yeah.
when you clicked on when you clicked on that that column, didn't it come up under rename?
Hang on a second. If you right-clicking displays the menu.
All right, and go down farther, scan down farther. It shows rename.
Well, up here is rename too, which is also the keystroke. If you like using a keyboard, you can use your keyboard for all this. F2 will do a
Okay, I didn't
rename.
know that.
This icon will do a rename. Show more options. We'll do a rename. There's 3 different ways of doing rename right there. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so now I have a new folder here. If I click on it, there's nothing in it. Well, I can go to any folder I want. You know how to do that now, right? You go down this list and you open up folders to get folders in the folders, and you get the folder list, okay? I can go to Excel class stuff here, and if I want to move a file from the Excel class stuff folder and put it in test folder 1, and remember, it can be anywhere in this list. I could go way down here and put it in a folder over here, but I want to show you both on the same screen, same. Okay, so you highlight the folder, it lists the contents. This is called the source folder or the origination folder. The folder you're going to put it into is called the destination folder, okay? So I'm going to take a file I want, let's say this introduction to Excel file, and I'm going to put my mouse on it and hold down the left mouse button. It highlights it, but I'm still holding down the left mouse button. Now I'm going to drag it, and I can drop it in any folder I want. I can even scroll down, so long as I don't let go of that mouse button. And I'm going to put it on test folder 1, but look what it says next to my mouse. What does it say?
Move to test
Move.
folder.
Move to test folder. It doesn't say copy, it says move. So when I let up the mouse, loop, that folder has now been moved from the Excel class stuff folder to the test folder 1. What's the very next thing you do, everybody?
Check.
You open that folder and make sure it's there. And there it is. Why do I recommend you do that? Well, if a little twitch of the finger has you drop it in the wrong folder and you go here and you don't see it, you've made a mistake. And I think that's a
Tim.
refresh. I don't think there's an undo that I'm aware of. Once you move a folder. If anybody knows of an undo for a folder, a file or folder move, please let me know.
Doesn't Control Z do it?
I don't know.
Windows Z?
Let's try it. Hold down Control and hit Z. The folder is now empty. And we go back to the, was it the iPhone, wherever I got it from? I think it's back there. Control Z, I'm going to jot that down. Thank you.
That was an excellent tip.
Z, reverses. Okay, thank you for that tip. All right, now we know how to move a folder. What if we want to copy a folder? Can you have two folders with the same name?
No,
How many say no? Just raise
No.
your hand. How many say yes?
That's
you
where
can?
they are.
Where they are, that's correct. Yes, you can have two folders with the same name if they are in different folders. You cannot have two folders with the same name in the same folder. Sometimes when you try to do that, you'll get the same name, parenthesis, 1 parenthesis, as part of the name, because the computer won't let you have two folders with the same name in the same folder. Okay? But you want to be able to copy them with the same name to a different folder because, well, duh, you want to make backups, right? You want to back up your stuff. So when I make backups, I back up all the documents folder and all the pictures folder, all the contents of them. And we'll do that maybe if we have time another week. Okay, let's do a copy. We go to a place where we want to copy something and I want to drop it in mixed bag of files. Now I can click on it. And if I try to drag it, it'll say move. I don't want to move it. I want to make a copy. So I hold down the control key, CTRL. If you hold down the control key and now you drag it, it says copy. So now if I drop it in the mixed bag of files, I am dropping a copy. Let up the mouse. Hey, it's still here in the original folder of Windows 10. But if I click on mixed bag of files, there it is with the same name, basic Windows 10.docx. Okay, so I have two folders with the same name, but they are in different folders.
Just by
Okay,
holding
everybody
down the
with me?
control key.
Okay,
Just
if you click on it, let's go back to Windows.
You froze, Jim.
Click. Share or trash. This is where you would go to delete a file or a folder. You can right click on it, right click, and you can pick from that menu. You can also copy. So if I copy that, let's do a different one here. Let's do Windows 10, right click on that, and we do a copy. I can go to any other folder I want, this folder. I can right click in that area and I can do a paste. And it has down a copy paste. That's two ways. You can drag holding down control, or you can right click on the highlighted file or folder and choose from the menus to do the same thing. And there's at least three more ways of doing this. There's keystrokes and so forth.
Hey, Jim?
Some people, in my history, some people put the keyboard on their lap and they do everything from the keyboard without using a mouse. I can't see how they do that, but they know these shortcut commands like crazy. I don't. I like to see what I'm doing.
Hey,
All
Jim?
right. Now, the next question I heard is, Jim, how do you move more than one file at a time? How do you copy more than one file at a time? Well, let's try it. Let's go to our mixed bag of files. We only have one file in there. Let's go to basic Excel, please teaching stuff. And let's say we want to move more than one file at a time. Well, I have the option turned on for my files to have this little box here. So I can click multiple files at a time and highlight them. That's an option you can turn on or off. I'll show you that later. But if you don't have that option, you click one, you hold down the control key, and you left click on any other ones you want, whether they're together or not together. Okay? And then you put your mouse in any one of them, hold down the left mouse button, and you can see that I am going to move 5. You see the number 5 in there? I'm moving 5 files, and I'm not copying them, I'm moving them. And let up, and there they are. They're moved. Mixed bag of files now has them. Okay. Now, what if you wanted to copy them and not move them? It's the same way, the same deal. Okay, let's go to Windows 10. Where's the bit? Excel class stuff. I think they have a lot of stuff in there. Okay. And if I click on the first one, hold down Control, I can click on any other ones I want. I'll just do 3. And now I let up Control because I finished my selection. So the 2 steps in this thing is you do a selection and then you do an action. You select one or more and then you decide what you want to do with them, an action. So I selected these 3. Now I hold down the Control key and the left mouse button and I drag. And what does it say? It says copy 3 to the mixed bag of files and let up the mouse. And they're still here in my Excel class stuff, but they are now also in the mixed bag of file stuff. Okay? So holding down the Control key while you drag will do a copy. Not holding down the Control key and drag will do a move. Now here's another little tip that maybe you're going to write down. If you drag a file or a bunch of files to another folder on the same drive, it will move them. But if you move or try to move files from one folder on one drive to another drive, like your jump drive that you plug in, it will do a copy, not a move. Why? Because you're trying to move stuff to a different drive. It's not going to delete it from your original drive. So if you try to drag a file or folder to a different drive, it will do a copy, not a move. And it will show you that in the little box. It'll show you that. It'll say copy to. If I went to, had another drive plugged in here, it would show up at the bottom. I do not. Maybe we'll do it in another class, how to use the thumb drive. We'll do that then. We'll how to use the thumb drive. It's very interesting.
Hey, Jim,
Yeah, question.
can you please demonstrate moving something from the documents in your OneDrive to the documents on your disk?
I don't use OneDrive.
How the hell do I
use-
turn it off? I hate it.
Well,
Join the
that's-
club.
Yeah, you can delete apps, but we won't go into that here. I do use Google Drive, and I have lots of stuff on Google Drive. And the way that I use Google Drive, I don't have Google Drive showing up on my list here in File Explorer. I understand that it may be possible, but I don't do it. I can't teach it yet. I haven't learned it. What I do for using Google Docs or anything in Google is I have to download it from Google Drive to my computer, and it comes in my download folder. And then I do with it what I want. There's other things you can do with Google Drive. That's just one thing, okay? That's what I do most, but it doesn't mean that's the only way to do it. So I may look into that after class and see other ways of using files, things on the cloud in Google Drive. I don't use OneDrive.
Thank you. Yeah,
Okay.
my computer, as it came out of the box, defaults to OneDrive, and I've been trying to force it to save things on my own computer instead of in the OneDrive.
Yeah,
And-
that's
and-
you can thank Microsoft for that. They want all your files, they want you to use them, and they hope that you're going to pay them money every month because you're going to use it so much.
Right.
But anyway, there's got to be a way around that. We can ask Google how to get rid of that.
Hey, Jim.
Another class. Yeah, another question.
Yes, I just want to make a comment. When I select something, I can right click on the selection and move it to where I would to move it to. And then if you right clicked, it gives you the option move or copy.
Yes,
So that's
Yes.
a better way or easier way of doing it, I think.
yes. Since you brought that up, another little comment that I think is helpful when I make my backups and I try to drag documents to the folder on my backup drive, it tries to copy the link or the icon instead of the files and folders. So in order for me to do my backup, I have to right click on the folder documents and select copy, go to my drive folder that I want to do the backups to, the destination folder, and right click there and copy, right click there and click on paste. And then it works. It does not copy the link, it actually copies the folders and files. Okay, another one real quick is, what if you want to copy or move multiple files and folders that are contiguous? Big word, contiguous, right? It means together. All right, so if I want to copy a bunch of files or folders and they're together, I left click the first one, I hold down the shift key and left click
What key?
the last one. Oh, wait, that didn't work. I was holding down the control key. I'm sorry. Wrong key. Start over. Okay, I'm going to click one with my mouse, hold down the shift key, and click the last one. And it highlights everything in between. You can do this across multiple pages of files, although I do not recommend it. Make sure you count the number of files or folders you've highlighted, and then you can drag and drop them wherever you want. Where am I going here? Come on. There we go, documents, class teaching stuff. Okay, and I can let up, it will say it's going to move it to that folder, and how many, the digit 5 is there. I won't do that. Go back here. If you start dragging and you make a mistake, just return the mouse and let it up. No harm has been done. But now we know that super secret keystroke of Control Z to reverse whatever you've done. That's very handy. Again, let's look at these icons up here. If I want to delete a file, I can highlight any file I want, any group I want, contiguous, not contiguous, control, click, get multiples, whatever. And I can come up here and delete them, and it will put them into my recycle bin. So you can get them back if you make a mistake. If you hit cut, I think it's the same as cutting it and putting it on the clipboard. Let me go over the clipboard, a little review for you on that. The clipboard comes in handy in a lot of places and a lot of apps, and certainly in the File Explorer app. The clipboard is a mysterious place in your computer that will hold something in memory temporarily. If you shut down your computer and there's something on the clipboard, you may get a message that says, wait a minute, do you want to save anything on the clipboard? You may or may not get that message. But if you cut something, it removes it from where it is and puts it on the clipboard, and then you can paste it later. So if I left click Google Sheets screenshot and I do cut, bloop, it should remove it. It didn't. Oh, let's see if I can add it to another place. That's folder 1. And this is the paste one. And it did. Let's see if it's back in the, I don't know where I got it from. Excel class stuff, maybe. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know if it removed it or not, but the cut command, if you're doing text in a document, these things work the same way. You highlight what you want, make a selection, you can cut, copy. You can't paste something that hasn't been cut or copied. You have to cut it or copy it first to put it on the clipboard before you can paste it anywhere else. So in Windows 10, you have these icons up here, the cut icon, this is the copy icon. We have to highlight something to get these icons to work. There's the cut, there's the copy, there's the paste. I can't paste. Why? Because I haven't cut or copied anything. I can rename. What's this one? Share with somebody else. Send it in their email or text or whatever. Okay.
Jim,
Are there any questions? Let's open it up for questions for a few minutes.
and Jim, in my detail bar, they're not lit up for me to open them. Why is that?
If you're in the view detail list, which I am here, you should left click on it and it would highlight them. Does that work for you, Vikram?
Let me try it. Mhm. Oh, yes, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then when it's highlighted, you can right click on it and drag it or whatever that we've been talking about.
Oh, okay, that's the
Okay.
trouble. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Are there other questions about creating a new folder, moving or copying files, and you move and copies folders the same way? Questions?
Yes,
Timothy,
please.
go ahead.
Your list shows documents and all of the folders within documents. Can you scroll that up slowly and show me what else is on your list? Because I've got a little bar going across. Yeah, that little bar in between test and this PC.
Yes.
What does that mean? Seems to be a duplicate on my computer.
Yes, they are. They will be duplicates. These are all pinned. In other words, they're the most popular ones.
None of mine are pinned. I just
So
have
use your Windows
duplicates.
11 or Windows 10.
11.
Okay, when I got Windows 11, these were all pinned there. These down here are the ones that I either used more recently or have pinned myself. And you can remove the pins. Do yours appear to be pinned? Do they have a
Um,
little pin mark next to them? Push pin.
yeah, some of them do and some don't.
Okay,
I
the
have
ones.
3 sets of things in that left bar. Uh, the bottom all seems to be this PC. The middle one seems to be all pinned. And then the top one has home and gallery. Yeah,
Yep.
that. Yeah, you've got the same thing. Home and
Yeah,
gallery,
I got
then a
the same
little
thing.
line, and then a
This is
bunch
a
of
first. Let me
pins.
jot down the date. We got the same thing. Well, I don't know what these are. They came with Windows 11. Let me click on home. And it looks like we're getting the pin
Oh, quick
home
access.
gallery. I suspect that the home can be designed to include more or less folders than what comes after this line. What comes after the lines are the things that have been pinned, or as you said, some things are not having the pin icon. They are the things that you've used probably most recently. And it gives you the opportunity if you want to pin them there or not. These up here, let me click on gallery. Oh my. Well, it looks like I got
What a
my
mess.
photos from Google Drive. Yeah. Oh gosh. Hey, don't I look cute as a kid? We'll go home. That's enough of that. If you're really bad class, I'll show you me in my Davy Crockett outfit from the 1950s, but I won't do that. Okay. All right, let's go back here and so I've taught you how to create a new folder, how to move.
Could we go over that and
You
creating a new
move folders the same way as you move files. We have a question?
Yes, I missed the I missed the creating a new folder class at the beginning. Could you go over that one more time for me, please?
Sure, I'd be happy to. The first rule for creating a new folder is be in the folder in which you want to create the new folder. That makes sense. Yes, if you create it in the wrong place, you can move it anywhere you want. That's not a problem. But it's always best to create the new folder in the folder you want to create the new one. Okay, so if I want to create a new folder in, come down to my class teaching folder, and I want to create a new folder in this folder. I already have 4 folders in there, the class teaching folder, and I have a bunch of files. I can go up here. Remember, this is click, this is highlighted. I come up to new, click the arrow next to new, and click on folder. And there's my new folder. And all I have to do is type in the name.
Okay. Thank you.
Test folder 2. And then click anywhere, and it takes it. And
Okay.
then that folder is empty. If I click on it, click, the folder is empty. Can I move stuff there? Sure. I can move the Excel class folder, drop it in there.
Ah, okay.
Okay. You can drag things. We went through all that. Okay. 2 basic ways of, there's more, but 2 basic ways of moving and copying files and folders. The first way is to highlight the source file or folders that you want, and then drag them to the left pane and drop them in the folder you want to be the destination. The second way is to right-click on the file or folder you have highlighted to get a menu, and from that menu, you can copy, and then you go to the destination folder, left-click on it to select it, right-click to make the same menu appear, and then you would click on paste. And notice I don't have a paste here because I haven't copied this thing yet. I can do a copy there. And now I can go to the destination and right-click and click paste. Windows 11 has gone to these icons in the popular menu choices. In Windows 10, you'll actually see copy paste words in the menu. Okay.
Yes, thank
This
you.
is the core. This is, if you want the heart and soul of you being a user of Windows, this is the core of it. You do not use Windows File Explorer to create a new file for the first time. You can't do that. You can make copies of files. You can rename files. Did I do a rename? If we highlight something here and we come up to this icon of rename, or we can right click and show more options and rename here. We can now rename that file or folder to any name we want just by typing it. Okay. So this is the core of being a Windows user. Now let's say you want to create a new file. How would that happen? How would that work in File Explorer? Well, the answer is you can't create a new file in File Explorer. You have to use an app to create the new file. So for example, let's say I want to draw a beautiful picture and I use the Paint program. Double click Paint, click, click. It opens up Paint. And I'm going to draw a beautiful drawing here. Oh, this is going to be worth a lot of money after I'm dead. I know that. All right. Now I want to save this as a file. Now this could be a Word application app. It could be any app that allows you to save a file. And they almost all do. Okay. So I would go to File. I'm sorry, I moved the mouse a little bit. File. And I could do Save or Save As. Notice in menus that it will give you the keyboard combination to do the same menu choice. If you want to memorize that and do that, be my guest. I do not recommend using keyboards at our age. Our fingers are not trustworthy anymore. Use the mouse. You can see what you're doing with the mouse. I always recommend Save As instead of Save. And I'm going to tell you the difference. You're going to jot it down. If you use Save, it will save your document or whatever you're doing. It will save and replace the previous file that has the same name. If you do Save As, it gives you that option to do that, but it gives you other options. So if I click Save As, I can pick what format I want to save this as, a JPEG picture. And it gives me a screen, the Save As window, which looks just like File Explorer. Isn't that nice? And I can pick the file, I can pick the folder that I want to go into. Okay, so I want to get down to local disk. I want to get down into, where's documents? Oh, up here, I'm sorry, downloads. Documents. And in Documents, I want to go to, to make my window a little smaller. Sorry. There we go. Now I can see everything. And go down to where's my goofy folder here? Teaching photos. I thought I had a teaching folder here. Did I move it during the class? I bet I moved it.
Wrong place.
But it doesn't matter. Suppose I put it in Jim's publisher files. Okay. Now I can give it a name too. It's untitled because this is the first time I did this painting. I'll put the word junk in there to remind me I can delete it. Now I can click save and I can see that it's saving it as a JPEG drawing and the name test drawing junk, and it's saving it in Jim's publisher files folder. And I would just click save. And it did it. Now, if I make a change to this document or picture or whatever, different color here. Now I go to file. If I click save, it's going to save it in the same file name and replace the one I already saved. Because I'm not changing the name of it. All right. It's still, the name is up here. I'll pull this down a little bit. There. The name is up there, test drawing junk. Okay. So I don't want to do save usually, unless I know I want to delete the previous one, right? I want to do save as. And I pick the same, what is it, JPEG? JPEG, pick JPEG again. And I get the same deal. The painting. If I don't change any of this stuff, I just click save, it works the same as save. But here I can see what I'm doing. I see it's going in Jim's publisher's files. I can see I could change the name if I want. I could change the format if I want to a different format. And then I click save. So I'm going to change the name. And we'll add two here. TW. Oh. And now I click save. Okay. I'm done with the paint program. And I'm going to be done with this altogether. We're going to pretend it's the next day, and I want to go to my paints that I saved before. So I go to File Explorer, and I open up Documents. And where did I put them in? I didn't put them in the class teaching folder. I put them in Jim's publisher files. Is that right?
Yeah.
I think so. I'm going to open those. And they were under the word test, I think. There they are. Now, if I double click one of these to open it, it will open in the default program for JPEGs. So I'm going to double click this to open it. Click, click. Hey, it didn't open it in the paint program, did it?
What?
I created it using the paint program.
Yeah,
But
didn't put
when
it
I
in there.
double click on it in the Windows File Explorer, it uses the default program, which for JPEGs, my default program is the Windows, I think it's called the Windows Photo Viewer or something like that. It doesn't have the name on it up here. but I can edit it and do all kinds of play things with it. If I want to open it up in the Paint program, well, then I have to open up Paint first. So I open up Paint. Look, it moved. Where's my, oh, here it is. Paint. File. Open. And I get a window just like File Explorer. And it remembered me and brought me to the folder, Jim's Publisher Files. And I can click on it and click open. And now I can play with Paint. Okay, we're out of time. I just like to wind up and maybe say that this is very important. I hope it's being recorded. I will talk to Huey. I'm sure he did the recording automatically, and he'll put it on YouTube, and I'll send you all a notice about that. Are there any
Right.
quick questions before we go? I do like to end on time.
Thanks,
Great
Jim.
job. Thank you.
Okay.
Great
I
class.
hope we all learned a little something new. Maybe you knew 80 or 90% of that, and that's great. I'm glad you did. And I hope you took some good notes. And look for my emails next time. You're welcome to invite new people to attend. Just have them send me an email so I can get them on my list, okay?
Thanks,
I
Jim.
Thanks,
appreciate it.
Jim.
One last
Bye,
Yeah.
everybody. Thank you.
Great class.
Thank you.
Great class.
Jim,
Thank you.
next time, can you give us a reference or a book to learn more on our own?
Yes, it's called Google Search. Ask Google and be very specific. Say, how do I rename a folder in Windows File Explorer? Say, be very specific, and you'll
Okay.
get very short, quick answers.
Thank
Then,
you.
if you don't get those answers after 3 tries on Ask Google, then you can contact me. Okay, thank you
very
all.
much.
Thank you, Jim.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
So long. Thanks. We'll see you next time.